Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is a try on Sephora haul. I did a big Sephora order recently and I've wanted to sit down and film this video. I just haven't had the time. I've been helping my husband. He is remodeling a beautiful 1920s house, and so I've been painting for him and stuff, so I just have not had time to sit down and film, but I'm finally here. This is a full face of new makeup, and a few of these products are like my new favorite products. They're going to be something I use on a regular basis, which is super fun. I will link all the makeup that I use in today's video down in the description box down below, and I will also pin a comment down in the comment section so it's easier to find. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this try on Sephora haul. Okay, before we get started, it's been a minute since I applied my sunscreen, so I'm gonna add some hydration to my skin. So I'm gonna add the Rhode Glazing Milk. It's my favorite. I have two at all times, so I keep one down in my filming room and one in my bathroom. This stuff is my favorite. I love it so much. And I'll just kind of like rehydrate my skin because it's been probably like 2 hours since I did my skincare. So it'd be good just to add a little bit more hydration. And my face is so red. Oh, so this is from Mary Phillips, well-known celebrity makeup artist. But the technique that she's really well known for, kind of like a Scott Barnes. Scott Barnes was really well known for doing the face underpainting. So to start her brand off, she decided to kind of go with her niche, and she created, I think there's 3 palettes. She has light, medium, and deep. I think she said she was going to extend the range. This was just like the first launch. Apparently there's going to be more palettes available for a more wider variety of skin tones. The one thing I have to say right off the bat is the fingerprints drive me crazy on this packaging. It's a matte packaging and I wear lotion, and so you can just see the fingerprints and it really drives me crazy. So now I'm just gonna like put all of my lotion on it and just get it all looking the same. That was my only first, but now that I've got all my lotion on it, it's all clean now. Anyway, we're gonna do the underpainting technique. It's not something that I do very often. In fact, I can probably count on one hand how many times I've done this, so bear with me. I would not learn from me is my point with this. Like, I am not teaching anybody how to do this because I truly don't know how to do it. I'm just going to kind of wing it. And I think a lot of us don't really know how to do it, right? So I think for those of you that are maybe doing this yourself, you're kind of a beginner until you get used to it and you kind of figure out what works for your face type, because that's the one thing about underpainting that is unique. It's unique to everybody. Like, we all have different face shapes and not every technique is going to work for your face. So you kind of have to look at your face shape, do a lot of research on where the high points and where you want to add depth, and kind of figure out what works best for you. So like I said, we're just going to kind of learn this together. I did get both of the brushes that were launched. So we have this one, which is a cream blush brush. And then this brush is the Underpainting dual-ended sculpting brush. She did launch lipstick balms and lip liners. I didn't get those. I just got these 3. This shade is a color corrector. This shade is the highlight 1, highlight 2, and then this is the contour 1 and contour 2. So that's kind of how the palette is set up. I'm gonna start kind of with the eyes and kind of work my way out just to kind of get more familiar. I'm gonna use the small end of the dual end brush, and I'm gonna go into the corrector, and let's like apply this here on some of these dark circles. Okay, so what I can say is this formula is really creamy. Wait, just a minute. We have this little mirror protector, but here's the mirror protector. I love those. Those are my favorite. You'll notice that this eye is darker than this eye. So I'm gonna add a little bit of that corrector. And it just makes the biggest difference. I'm gonna use the highlight shade. So the second shade in the palette. And just use that to kind of cover up and cancel out all of the redness. And so right away, what I like about this product is it has really good coverage, but it's really creamy. And the way that it goes onto the skin, you really don't feel like you've put anything on. Even when I take my 10 times mirror and look, it's so lightweight, yet it has really good coverage. And you just don't need that much. I like this. For me personally, this is better than concealer on the eyelids. So if you're like me and you use a concealer to kind of cancel out all of the redness and stuff and kind of give you like a blank canvas to work on, this is fabulous, you guys. Like, because you can't tell that you've put something on, but it's done its job. And I'm grabbing the smallest amount too. Just literally putting my brush into it and just getting a smallest amount and just building it, because you really don't need that much. It's not like it's a ton of coverage, but it's weird. Like, I don't know that I've used a formula like this before. So I'm going to continue with that shade. And I'm going to bring it over top of that color corrector that I used. And again, you just don't need very much. And having the control with this small little brush, I love, because it allows you to apply what you need, but not overdoing it. What this reminds me of are the palettes from Makeup Forever. The Makeup Forever palettes for me are a little chalky, and I just have never really been able to make it work. That's just my experience. So this is a little different than that. This just really melts into the skin so nicely. Now what I'm doing is I'm applying it and blending it, applying it and blending it. So, you know, I'm probably doing it wrong because I am blending it as I'm applying it, but it's kind of hard for me to just keep it there. Now, the one thing that I do want to do is I want to take my brush. I'm going to wipe it off on the towel here. I'm going to go into the middle shade right here, and I'm going to spot conceal just some of the spots that I want to cover. Yeah, I have a lot of spots. I need the whole face covered. I need to just take the whole palette and just go ham. I want to put this shade and this shade, like kind of dab between the two of them, and do it here and through here and just see how that works. So we're going to do that. I'm just going to dip my brush back and forth and kind of... Now with this, it's probably better, like, to get the max coverage from a product like this, to let it sit and do its thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't blend it out too fast like I was doing. It's probably better to just let it do its thing for a minute and let it set up on the skin before you start blending it. I'm just playing around, you guys, because I have no idea what I'm doing. But I think that's what makes it fun, is that as you continue to use the product, you just get better and better, right? And that's probably what Mary would want for us to use a product like this, to just keep practicing and kind of learn better techniques, and oh, that looks better, and oh, I should do it like this. And do you know what I mean? Like, I would assume that that would be something that she would want us to do, is kind of just work our way learning how to use it. But gosh, this formula is fabulous, you guys. For those of you that want to learn how to do this underpainting, I want to say underpainting, and I don't know why I want to do the T. Anyway, for those of you that want to do the underpainting, you'll love this formula because it's so buttery and so easy to use. I'm going to go into the contour shade right here and bring that like right here. I've lost some of my cheekbone structure. I gained weight and I lost, because I used to have, like, my cheeks used to be much more defined than they are now. And once I gained a little bit of weight, like going through menopause, I gained a little weight and it just filled my face out. And so I lost some of that structure. And I don't even know if I'm doing that right, but we're gonna go with it. And maybe along here. See, I kind of feel like I need a brush like this to apply it. I need something a little bit bigger, maybe. So I'm going to use the other side of it. I don't know if you guys are the same way, but I always have such a hard time tucking like cream bronzers and stuff into my hairline. I know I've talked about this before, and there's only a few cream bronzers that really blend into the hairline to where it looks natural and not like mushroomy, you know. I don't really like that look. But I like it to blend into this hairline. And I don't know if it's because my hair's dark. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is, but I struggle with that so much. That's actually like more of a bronzer shade for me. I think I dipped into the wrong shade. So what I'm going to do is kind of stipple this up. I think the darker shade over here would have been better to bring it down that low because this is more of like a bronzer shade for me. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, so I'm just gonna bring a little bit of that, I'm gonna bring a little bit of that on the cheek and kind of try to blend this in a little bit and then maybe deepen it. I don't know what I'm doing, you guys, but I know you kind of want that harsher line so that you can kind of blend it out with your foundation and, you know, make your foundation kind of blend into it. I don't know. I mean, again, I don't really know what I'm doing. So, and the other thing that I want to pull in, can you see how smooth that is right between my brows? This formula is phenomenal. Now, the other thing about this, I really like the brush because the product doesn't weigh heavy into the brush. So the brush doesn't like carry the product. So you're able to just wipe it off on the back of the towel and go into a dark color and then do what you got to do, wipe it off and go back into a light. You can go back and forth wiping it off on the towel, which is good because you can use just this brush for light and dark and you can kind of go back and forth. Yeah, this might be my new favorite palette for a while. Like, I really like this. So now that we kind of played with the underpainting, which I'm kind of obsessed with that palette right now, let's move on to the foundation. I did buy the Natasha Denona. I gotta take these back, which I hate doing that. But I got N5 and YP5 and they're way too light for me. And the one thing that I will say that made me nervous about the whole Natasha Denona foundation anyway is that the shades looked really yellow. Like they had a really strong yellow undertone. The neutral looked gray and the yellow looked yellow. And that's kind of my experience in it. But I think I need to go in Sephora and find my right shade. So let me show you guys what these look like. So this one is YP5, very light. Like I could never make that work. Not even on my lightest days. My friend Miri McDonald on Instagram, when she saw the shades I was buying, she was like, I think those might be too light for you. You were right, Miri. 100%. Okay, so this one right here is the N5. Okay, and it's like a peachy gray color. And then this is the YP5 and it's straight up yellow. So I was worried that Natasha Denona's, because her concealer is the same way, you guys. I was worried that her foundation was going to have really strong undertones. And it does. It definitely does. I've heard such great things about the foundation. So I just need to take a trip to Sephora and see if I can find a good shade. So the new skin tint we're going to talk about though is this new one from Armani. Okay. I've used this and wore this several times. So I know exactly how I feel about it. Let me grab the other shade. I bought two shades in it. So I have medium 3 and I have light 3. Let me show you what the shades are and then I'll kind of go through and tell you the good and the bad about this. So this is medium 3 and this is light 3. Both are really nice, but the one thing I want you guys to notice is, do you see the reflection off of the lights? When you put this on, it looks like you put on a tiny bit of the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless filter into the foundation, but you didn't. It's beautiful, but not in a super Tin Man way. Like, it has the lightest amount of that luminosity to it, but in the most beautiful way. This has been my new favorite foundation. Like ever since I put it on, I've been obsessed with it. So I was getting ready to go to a wedding. Today's Monday. We had a wedding on Saturday. All of my son's friends are getting married. It's crazy. We have one more wedding at the end of the month, but I went to a wedding and I applied too much of this. So I was trying to get it to build it to like a good medium coverage, and it looked really cakey and heavy. So I had to take it off. And then I went in with like a spot concealer, which my favorite spot conceal is like the Tom Ford Traceless, which I had to buy a new one because I'm almost out of this. It's my favorite concealer. Or I also really love the Skin Correct from Dior. But my point to this is made to be a light coverage skin tint. And if you build it, it will get heavy and cakey. It's not meant to do that. The reason for that is because this skin tint looks luminous, but it sets down. So I wore this the other day for 13 hours. Foundation looked amazing. My recommendation with this is don't build it up. So if you need extra coverage, use spot concealer to give you the coverage and then go over top of it with this. But the way that this sets and lays down on the skin, it doesn't budge. In my opinion, it's just as dependable as the Silk foundation, you know, the Luminous Silk foundation. It's just as dependable as that, but it has much more luminosity and it's a skin tint. The medium 3 looked really beautiful out in like the daylight and stuff, but I feel like with this underpainting technique, I might go with the lighter shade. Okay, I'm kind of obsessed with my makeup right now, so it looks so flawless. Like in every mirror. I am so excited, you guys. Okay, let's move on to brows. So I went ahead and did them off camera really fast, but of course I had to restock up on my Benefit 24-hour brow setter. It's like my favorite go-to brow, these called brow gels. Okay, while I was buying it, this caught my eye. This is called the Mighty Fine Brow Pen, and I got it in 3.5 neutral medium brown. I actually really like the product itself, and I've been combing my brows this way versus straight up, and I quite like it. I don't know. I'm trying to do a new brow thing. I'm trying to figure it out. I've combed my brows up for so long that I wanted to maybe do something a little different with my brows. So anyway, so the next product I have is this. So this is from Dior, but I gotta check and see if my Sephora packages come. My order was delivered. I have this, which is the new Dior Backstage Rosy Glow palette, or blush. This one, okay? And I really like the Dior blushes. So I had the peach and the rosy blush in the ones that were like more rectangular. And I think my daughter snatched them. I'm not kidding. They're not in here. So I apologize. I'm not going to be able to do any kind of comparison on the other ones because my daughter, at least she could have left me one. I had the pink and the peach. I think she snatched both of them. I told her, I'm like, you can have one if you want. I did not say both. I did not say you could take both. It's fine, whatever. The one that just got delivered is the Backstage Glow Maximizer Face Palette, the Pearly Peach Glow. So I'm gonna go upstairs and grab it, and I will be right back. All right, I am back. I went up and grabbed it. Now, I am a little bit concerned about this because based on what I've seen, so I saw Morgan Turner did a Instagram reel quickly talking about these, and she was like, holy crap, it's like glittery, and I don't like glitter. I'm not a glitter person. I'm not super into that, and I think that's what made these other palettes so special, is that they had a sheen and like a luminosity to them, but without being like glitter crap all over your face. I'm not into it. It's not my favorite. This is the original, right? And then we have the Glitz, which the Glitz, I will say, I agree with Mel. This is one of my favorite shades. So remember Mel Thompson used to talk about this all the time. This shade in Glitz was like her ride or die. And you can actually see the level of pan. I don't know if it's going to show up. Can you see how much I've used of it? I really like the way the Dior is written on the top though. I like that. It's pretty. But this one is a little bit on the duochrome side. This shade right here, like a golden peachy. See that little bit of that duochrome in that one? Yeah, okay. But yeah, this is a glitter mess. Way too glittery for me. The other three shades, this one's a glittery mess, but the other three are not bad. I don't know how they're going to look on the face. Right, for example, like this is the Glitz palette. You can see how much sparkle this new palette has versus the old palette. And I think that's what made the old palettes beautiful. And everybody, in my opinion, that's what people really liked about the old formula or in the old palettes, is that they were very soft and luxurious and added that luminosity to the skin, but in the like most softest, beautiful way. I know that Morgan put up a full video talking all about these new palettes. So if you guys are interested in a full review on them, I would definitely check out Morgan Turner's video on these. Now, the one thing that I do want to mention is during my Sephora haul, I did grab this brush from Makeup by Mario. I've used it a few times and I really like it. I've seen so many people use this dual-ended brush and I just never purchased it, but I see why people love it. I've used it for cream, powder, bronzer, blush, foundation. Like it's a really good, versatile kind of brush that you can use for multiple things. And I really, really like it. So just a heads up. It's a good brush. I think I'm going to use this bigger side to apply this blush right here and tap off. Gosh, that's a pretty shade. Again, this is the shade Candy. And honestly, this formula reminds me of the other formula. Like it doesn't really feel like it's changed. But maybe it has, you guys. I don't know. I got a little carried away, so I'm going to tap off. It could, you know, it could just be me, but like I remember the original Dior blushes applying just like this. So, I don't know. It could, you know, I could be wrong. I don't know if the formula's changed, but just based on applying it, I don't feel like it has. I really like this formula. It's beautiful. And I love that color. It's so pretty on the skin. So I'm going to take the smaller end of this dual-ended brush from Makeup by Mario, and I'm going to go into this shade right here in the Pearly Peach Glow palette and just kind of tap it on top. Yeah, it just adds just the tiniest amount of shimmer. Now, the one thing I am going to do is I'm going to add a lip stain. This one is from Dior. This is the shade 321. 391? No, 321. Helps to give me some base. I'm going to let that set on my lips for a little bit. I'm going to grab this It's a lot of glow. To put on the highlighter, or these. Okay, so I'm gonna first grab this shade right here. But you guys see the way that this, okay, let me just show you. See all that glitter? That's what Morgan was talking about. So how does that compare to the old formula? Let me give you a different brush. So same type of brush, just it's a bigger one. And yeah, wow. Okay, see the difference? See how much that this picked up that glitter versus this? I mean, that is a big difference, you guys. Big difference. That means that it is a very heavily packed glitter palette. So the shade that I grabbed was this one in the Glitz palette. So that just means it's full-blown glitter. So just warning, and I personally don't like glitter highlighters. I just don't. I never have, and I probably never will. I'm going to dip my brush into it lightly, okay? I'm going to tap off. That glitter just went flying. And let's just see like what it looks like on the face. I mean, yeah, it's glittery. If you like glitter, I think you'll be fine with this. This is just preference, right? I don't mind a little bit of glitter kind of mixed into the more shimmery base, but I don't like it to be 90% glitter. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I feel like this is. I don't know why Dior decided to change their formula. Why fix a good thing? Like, just come out with new shades and new shade variations. Like, let's move on to the eyes. And I do have like 2 newer products. So when Makeup by Mario first launched their liquid eyeshadows, I bought 3 shades. So I have taupe, blush, and mauve. Okay, those are the 3 shades. Well, then when I was buying from Sephora and kind of putting an order together, I decided to grab this chestnut shade because I kind of felt like this would be a better overall shade for me, like an everyday shade, because it kind of is that bronzer kind of color. It's a gorgeous color. Oh my gosh, it's even better than in real life. So these are the 4 shades. So this is mauve, blush, taupe, and chestnut. And this color looked terrible on me alone. I've tried it multiple times and it's just not my right shade for me and my complexion. That's the reason why I decided to buy chestnut. Mauve looks really pretty alone. And then blush, I've worn blush with like pink palettes, you know, when I'm doing like a pinky eye look, but this did not look good on its own, just with nothing. It did not look pretty at all. So that's just my experience on my complexion. But I really, really like the formula though. The formula is really nice. I'm gonna use these new brushes from Sonia G. This is the new Sonia G Traditions brushes. So excited. Oh, I love her brushes, you guys. Sonia G are some of the best brushes. And in fact, my son's girlfriend, Elena, who is doing makeup and like bridal makeup and stuff, I gave her a few Sonia G brushes for her kit, along with other brushes, but there was a few Sonia G. She freaking loves them. She'd never heard of Sonia G before. And so when she tried it out for the first time, she was like, Tara, oh my gosh, those Sonia G brushes. I'm like, I know, they are phenomenal. How I like to apply these is I like to go directly on the eyelid, and then I'll take like a flat tip brush and kind of blend it in, but you don't need very much of this. And yes, you do need to work a little quicker. Like, it's not really a formula that's super forgiving as far as time goes, but it does give you a little bit of time to blend it out. That is such a good color. Oh my gosh, I love that color. Yeah, see, this is a shade that can totally be worn alone. The reason why I personally like liquid eyeshadows these days is I like them to be like a one and done thing. So I like to be able to just put them on and go. I don't have to worry about it throughout the day. But like those other colors just did not really work out for me in that way. I'm gonna take this big fluffy brush and kind of buff out some of those edges. But this color is really beautiful on its own. It works fabulous. Now, another way that I like to do it where I have a little bit more control is I'll just take the brush and go directly on the applicator. And I'm going to kind of carve out this. Add a little bit more pigment, and then I'll take like the fluffier brush and kind of blend it out. These are definitely really, really easy to use and very long wearing. You can totally use them as a base. So I've worn them, I've been wearing these for a while now. I've worn these with eyeshadow all on their own, multiple ways. And I think what I'll do is I think I'll go back into my M.ph palette, and I'm gonna go into this shade right here and just kind of clean that up a little bit. Yeah, and then take the fluffy brush and kind of, there we go. And then sometimes if I want to add a little bit more depth, I'll grab like an eyeliner. This one is actually from Makeup by Mario, and I'll go like right on the waterline and create a little bit of depth. What I do like about Makeup by Mario's eyeliners, they have the brush on the other side, which makes it so easy to use. And I'll also kind of bring it up on my waterline. So I just went ahead and finished the other eye, put some mascara on the lower lash line. Let's go ahead and move on to the lips. So I'm gonna wipe off this stain. There's something about lip stain, like it's been 2 years since I did lip filler. And I think I still have some of it in my lower, but I'm losing a lot of the volume on my upper. And I need to get it done again, but I just like, oh, I don't know that I want to. I don't know. I just keep going back and forth. So using a lip stain kind of gives me the plumpness through the day. That's why I like it. But let's move on to the next product. So I went ahead and grabbed this new lip liner from Charlotte Tilbury. This is called the Lip Cheek Contour Duo. I got this one in the shade medium. So basically you use the darker shade to contour the outer lines of the lip. You use the lighter color on the insides of the lip. So I'm gonna go ahead and line my lips. I've used this a few times and I like it. It's okay. Like, I don't really feel like it's anything that's like revolutionary, but it's a good lip liner. Now I'm going to take the lighter shade and just fill it in. Don't have any new lip products. Oh yes, I do. Chantecaille sent me some new products. Hold on. I probably shouldn't have used the lip liner, but that's okay. So Chantecaille sent over this PR package. It has a little lip brush. I personally love the Chantecaille's Lip Veils and Lip Cheeks. They're one of my favorite lip products. So when I saw that they launched these, I was really excited. These are their lip creams. These are a creamy full coverage lipstick with a glossy finish. They sent over 3 of their 14 new shades. I will put the new shades up here on the screen. These shades are stunning. So these I'm really excited about. Look how beautiful this packaging is, right? But look at the shine. Okay, so this is in the shade Bamboo. Okay, then we have Moon Orchid, which is a gorgeous, like cranberry red. Oh, it's so gorgeous. Look at that color. Perfect for fall. Like, actually, both of those colors are so perfect for fall. And then we have Plum Blossom. Look at those 3 shades. I'm so obsessed. I'll show you what it looks like swatched. See, it is full coverage. So these are like lipsticks, right? So their lip cheeks and lip bells are more of like a hydrating lip balm, but really good coverage. These are actual lipsticks. Okay, so the actual bullet is matte, but if you look where I just swatched it, look at that shine, but the bullet's matte. Okay, so I'm gonna put, that's such a beautiful shade, especially with the lip liner that I paired it with, right? Perfect nude. Oh, I'm obsessed. These are gorgeous, Chantecaille. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Like, there's so much good makeup today, right? I'm going to put a little bit of the Plum Blossom on just for fun. Oh, okay. I love these. Okay, I love these. Okay, so makeup is done. Let's quickly go through a few of the products that we use today. Number one most favorite products I'm living for are these two. This palette really surprised me. I didn't really see it coming. I still love the way that this is laying on the forehead. And the reason why I keep saying that is because typically when I know a foundation or a face product like this is not gonna work, is the way that it lays on between my brows and around here. Like if it gets cakey around my mouth and crazy in between my brows, I know it's gonna be a no-go for me, right? But the way that this works, I am completely surprised how much I absolutely love this palette. And this is gonna be a daily thing for me. I think I'm gonna start using this for concealer because the one thing that I like about this is that it looks really natural. Yes, it's not a full coverage concealer. So if you need a full coverage, I would definitely recommend maybe using the color corrector and maybe one of these, and then maybe going over top of it with like a liquid concealer. But personally for me, I think that's what I love about this, is that it gives me the coverage that I need, but it still makes my under eyes look really natural. Like I can't tell that I'm wearing anything under there. And that's what I want, especially as I've gotten older. Concealer weighs so heavy in these wrinkles right here. It does. Like all these little crinkly little wrinkles here, makeup and concealer can get cakey in that area so fast. But this melts into the skin. It doesn't give you that like chalky, weird coverage. This is just a beautiful creamy coverage. The tones are beautiful. The formula is fantastic. And I'm in love. Like, I am so glad I bought this. And truly, I only bought this to do a video on it. But I am so glad I bought it because had it not been for just doing a video, I probably wouldn't have picked it up. Because underpainting kind of turns me away because it seems like it's difficult and it seems like it takes too long, and sometimes I don't want to take that much time. And like on a regular basis, I don't want to take that much time to get ready. But that's not what this is. Don't be intimidated by the fact that this palette is an underpainting palette. Therefore, it's not really for you, because you don't need to use it as an underpainting palette. You can use it for pretty much anything. Just as concealer alone, you can use it for your bronzer and maybe contour and sharpen it up a little bit over top of your foundation if you're not comfortable with the underpainting technique. Like, there's a lot of versatility in this. If you decide that you want to splurge on this, I highly recommend the brush. Like, these two are phenomenal. And I love the Armani skin tint. Like, this stuff is long wearing, but yet sets down. The formula that reminds me of is the Sunday Fridays skin tint. For those of you that have maybe used the Sunday Friday skin tint, it definitely has that where it's not slipping and sliding all over your face. A lot of the skin tints that we have right now on the market are very hydrating, very slippy, very, they're going to wear off very naturally, but they're going to last you maybe 5-6 hours, right? Not this. Like, this is going to last you many hours. And like I said the other day, it lasted me 14 hours. Yes, I had to reapply it twice because I got too heavy-handed with it, but I do hope that that information is helpful for those of you that are curious about the skin tint. Go in very lightly. You don't need a lot. And if you need to cover like acne or hyperpigmentation or whatever, redness, go in with a spot conceal concealer first, then go over top of it with this. Like, don't use this as your coverage alone because it doesn't build very good. It looks kind of gross if you build it too much because it dries and sets down. And I think that's the reason why it's not a formula that likes to be built up, because it dries and sets down on the skin. And then you go over top of that layer with another layer of it. And it's like, no, it's too much. So I would just recommend wearing it as a light coverage skin tint, or if you want a medium, use some spot concealing and go from there. But this is 10 out of 10 foundation. Like, so beautiful. The new blush from Dior, I love it. I think it's really beautiful. This is a no-go. This is not my favorite. I like the tones in this one. I like the colors and stuff, but it's way too much glittery. So if you don't like glitter, don't buy this because it's not worth the money. Even though these shades are really beautiful, it's not worth the money when it's a lot of glitter. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't recommend this for those that are like me and don't really like glitter. Liquid eyeshadows from Makeup by Mario. Like I said, really nice formula. Love the chestnut on its own. It's really beautiful. The lip liner, it's a good lip liner. It's a really pretty lip liner. You know, Charlotte Tilbury has good lip liners. So I'm not really surprised by that. This brush set, I am excited to use these with, you know, powder products and stuff, but Sonia G always makes good brushes. So if you are in the new market for some new brushes, Sonia G she always nails it. And then finally, we have these lipsticks from Chantecaille, and I'm obsessed. I have not reapplied. So I went off camera. I've been drinking water out of my Stanley cup. I haven't ate yet, but I was doing pictures for the thumbnail and stuff, and this hasn't worn off at all. Like, I haven't reapplied it since I applied it on camera. I haven't touched my lips since I applied it on camera. So not only is the shine still there, but the color is still there. So I really like this formula. I don't feel like I have to continue to reapply. And they have a lot of beautiful shades. So those are my overall thoughts. Sound off down below. Have any of you got or used the products that I used in today's video? If you have, sound off down below. Let us know all of your thoughts. You guys always have the best recommendations, the best comments. Like, I love, love, love the comment section. So definitely let us know. That's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Love you. Bye.